All right, we're in the Christmas Park Tournament. And we are on the City Park holes. These City Park holes, the first time these came out was in the 2017 Christmas Tournament. And then they got rebranded when it went to the New York Classic, and they did the City Park, so they're the Central Park kind of theme. But they started off as Christmas holes, and these holes are brutal. They can be brutal unless you have a game plan. So let's go look at hole number 1 and let's walk through them. So hole number 1 is actually City Park hole number 2. And I think what I'm going to do today, I'm just going to go out and play today and just try and have some fun and just play them. Play them one hole at a time. Let's see what happens. I'm going to bring a rock. And this would be better with a Kingmaker. So I will bring a Kingmaker. Now we're practicing. Now this is one of those shots I better practice with a Kingmaker. Need a sniper. Let's empty out a slot. Was playing some friendlies earlier today. And let's get one of these ones rolling. Playing some rookie. Hole 1. Here we go. That's not what we want to do. We want to practice. Let's enter practice. Jeez. Here we go. That looks better. It's like, what are you doing? I've done that before where I was in there and I was trying to warm up and I didn't realize that I went into the tournament because it popped up first and I was just going through the motions. Wasn't paying attention. I wasn't paying attention until I shot the shot to get on the green and I was like, what was the deal right there? I'm in the tournament. Finally, Doctor Strange. I knew it was going to take somebody strange. And it's the Doctor. They're going to do the max overpower hook shot. The thing about the max overpower hook shot right now is the snow's covering up all the cuts. So you have to find a different spot out there where they're right about the seam. To look and see what that ball does. I wasn't paying attention when it popped up. See if they got their trajectory right. They might be a little bit into the rough. Not a lot of freaking distance, I can tell you that. Alright. I'm going to be 4 rings off of that. I'm going to be 3 rings off of that. Do a little over 3. I'm going to do a 10% here, so it's 2.5. I'm going to hit it 1 ring on the inside. That's not good. Perfect. And that's about as far as you can get without doing any overpower with that club. I mean, that's it. The one thing that rock, when the rock goes from level 8 to level 9, it does pick up. It goes to like 55 topspin. It does pick up a little bit. Not a lot, but it picks up some, and some on that rock is more than none. It's almost like your Guardian. When you take it to level 9, there's not that big of a jump, but it does get like 1 more bar of topspin, and that 1 bar of topspin is huge. right, what are we doing here? 0.95 times. I'm taking 5% off on the wind. There's max. There's min. So I'm right at min club. 1.3 per ring. .6 equals divided by 1.3. 2.63. If I can get lined up with the wind. There's 2.563. Ah! And I started off on the left-hand edge of the cup, and I should have been over a little. I think if I'd have hit it perfect, it'd have rolled off on the other side of the cup exactly like it did right there. It's close. Need to hit that perfect. This is definitely a hole that we can try and get that eagle on. All right, that was hole number 1. Let's go check out hole number 2. Hole number 2. Let's see what we got. I'm trying to remember these holes. Hole number 2 is hole number 3 at City Park. Oh yeah. If you don't have a 5-power ball, you're not going to get over there. And then we got to have tailwind. We got to have tailwind going in this direction in order to get us out so that we can get over to this fairway. We got to have a power 5 ball in order to get over to that fairway. I'm going to bring a Titan. The king of balls. An extra mile. And a Titan. I'm practicing here. I don't want to waste any power 5 balls, but I may hit myself over to that spot so that I can practice that shot going in. So that shot going in absolutely takes a big dog. So let me switch this up for a big dog. And I'm really wanting to go practice the second shot. Now, the problem is there's no real practicing that second shot without a power 5 ball. It's like either you're committing to bringing a power 5 ball so that you can practice from that area, or you'll have to hit farther forward so that you're in the same distance in your club. And let's not play the tournament. Let's play practice. Let's enter rookie. We're on hole 2. Here we go. All right, this definitely will be a power 5 ball to try and get out there if we have tailwind. If we don't have tailwind, you're not getting out there. Not unless you had a level 7 apocalypse, because then you can fight the headwind a little bit with that extra raw power, and you still got the top spin. This wouldn't be about one of those holes because you don't have to use a lot of side spin for one of those megalodons if you had headwind, because then at least you're cutting it down. But those balls have such poor needle speed at overpower. And we're getting a little bit of forward moving wind. They have brought out a power 5 ball. Hitting it perfect. El Perfecto. Rolling out into the fairway. Nice shot. Nice. That will work. That dog right there will hunt. 2-2, that's about a ring. Let's make sure we put any forward distance back in it. And I'm 7,000 miles off trajectory. And I made it. Woo! And that was definitely against a that wasn't helping or hurting. It was right on the line, so. The thing about this is, this green is such a green that you can hit it with the right speed. There is a backboard, but this is also one of those greens. This course in particular, has a lot of spots in it where you can catch that slide, where you'll slide across the fairway. And approaching this green with a big dog, there are spots, and it's super easy to fly off the back of this. Where like literally you launch like a ski jumper off of that hill. It's tough. It's 3-6. It's about 3-1. I'm going to put a little bit of curl on it and a little teeny bit of overpower. Get one ring great to the left. Roll back down to the fringe. Roll back down to the fringe. There we go. There we go. I've gotten caught up in that area right there, and let me tell you, that's a suck putt. You really don't want to engage that over there with more than just a couple topspin. If you get too much more than that, it's super tricky in that area. Usually the first time I come here, I epic fail it. You can get out to that spot, and you work really hard to get out to that spot, and then you're expecting like, I got out to this spot, now I got this great shot. No, well, you do have a great shot. It's still tough though. And one ring great to the right. Just barely got it right. Just barely. Eagle. That's a tough hole to get an eagle on. You got to get over to the other side. There is a shot that you can do from the bottom, but the pound for pound, getting over to the other side and having a shot to get on into where you're taking a short chip or a putt is much better than having to take that big fairway short iron. Faux show. Practice now. Let's go. Hole number 3. What is hole number 3? Hole number 3 is hole number 1 of City Park. Now we had a shot here. I need to call my teammate Kyle, because there's 2 of the holes that are in this tournament that are in these courses that we had shots on that we worked out early summer, late spring of this year, and we were just absolutely killing it on these holes. But I can't remember where the spots were. I'm going to try just taking it from right up here on the ridge and going straight at it. There is a backspin shot here, and I really like the backspin shot. But it seems like the last time we were here, I was going straight at it. I can't remember what the wind adjustment was. I'm going to start at, let me make sure. It's just a grizzly and a... I'm going to take a grizzly and a quasar. Oh, excuse me. Oh, that felt good. Take a Nirvana. I don't think I need a lot of side spin from where I'm hitting. I can't remember what we were doing on this hole, to be honest with you. If I can get an opponent. Thank you, Leo. Thanks for joining the channel. From the WLW Warriors. Okay, where am I at in my club? Yeah, I'm right at min, so it's 1.4. So it's 2.3 equals divided by 1.4. It's 1.88 rings. There's 1, 9. Hitting it perfect. See if we can get that to drop or even get close. Need to pull it more. I did a minimum adjustment there because I was at min club, which is 1.4 for a ring, and I'm almost thinking I should have did a max adjustment. Instead of 1.88 rings, that would have been 2.64. I'm going to try that at max club. Maybe. Oh. I have to see what ball I used right there. I think I used the wrong ball. That was the deal. Arrgh. I did use the wrong ball. Damn it. No wonder I was so close to minimum club. Well, we'll have to start over. I'm gonna start off with 9. All right. Got that. The ball wrong. Damn, I'm gonna switch that ball. I just wasted a power 5 ball. What was the deal there? Arrgh. Wasn't even paying attention. Hole number 4 is City Park. Hole number 5. All right, I'm switching this hole up as well. So I'm gonna take a katana, and I'm gonna switch up my hornet for a kingfisher. Now let's do it in this bag right here. First of all, I want to see where I'm at. I'm at 88, so it's 1.2 accurate. Let me write that down. Let me write my kingfisher down. It's 88. It's 90. It's 1.2. Kingfisher. 1.2. 2.4. Okay, we're ready. Katana, kingfisher, rock. Da 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 da. Let's go to practice. Let's go to rookie. Let's go to hole 4. The problem with my hornet is I keep ending up in between min and max club. And so I'm not. And I've had some tournaments where I was able to work the number out and was able to sink some, and then like you get into the next tournament, you do the deal, and now it's off. And I'm always like right out there. And even when I hit perfect, this should be one of those holes that you get to the spot, you set it up, you hit it perfect, it goes in the hole. And it's not working out that way. So I'm going to switch it up. The last time we were here, I switched to my Kingfisher because it doesn't hit as far. So it was putting me more towards my max club. And I'm going to try and get out there as far. I'm going to go out there as far as I can. Normally I don't try and get out there that far, but I'm going to see what four topspin does for me. Isn't it perfect? See if it puts me too long on the other side or if I'm just right. That puts me kind of in between. 332. Start writing some distances down. 332. All right, clearing up my notes. Trying to maybe have some notes. That would be good. It might be good to have some notes before I qualified. At least a little bit of an idea of how I want to approach the greens. Whew, that dog will hunt. That'll be fine. That dog will hunt right there. That's a good arc. Okay, there's max. There's min. So there's mid. So I'm right at mid. So it's 4.3 equals divided by 1.6. It's 2.95. 3 rings. Ah! Just a perfect would be nice. Just a perfect would be nice. Damn it. I think I'm unable to hit perfects. I don't think I can hit them anymore. I think I've used my allotment. Opponent's got a thorn. Great ball guide on a thorn. If nothing else, great ball guide. Maxed out. Not sure what the accuracy is on a maxed out. It's not much. They moved it 2 rings, so that was about 2.5 a ring. And I'm sure they're able to hit perfect. Wow, somebody else wasn't able to hit perfect either. What's the deal? 2 shots that would have had a serious chance of going in if we'd hit them perfect. Into hole. All right. So I know what we got in store for us on that one. Really, the big test so far has been hole number 2. And that hole is really, you got to have tailwind. Normally. It's a draw. Hold on one second. All right, sorry about that. It's storming at my house, so there's all kinds of weird noises going on. So what are we on here? Hole number 6. Hole number 6. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, this hole. This one. Now you can play this with a Titan. Works a little bit better with a... Where do we have City Park hole number 5 here? Because I'm looking at the wrong one. That's why. City Park hole number 5 is City Park hole number 4. All right, there's a spot on this one as well. There's a rough bump that we can do on this shot, and I can't, for the life of me, remember what the adjustments are, so we'll just wing it. We'll wing it. I think we need a ball that's got some side spin on it, though. It almost felt like, I think on this hole we were using an Olympus ball, so it was a 1 power 3 side spin, and that was the ball you had to use. So I'm going to use a katana so that I can get that same side spin, but I'll be in a slightly different spot in my club. And I know that we were doing an adjustment here, but I cannot remember what it was. And it seemed like the last time we played this, like there was a rough bump here, and like we were killing it on that rough bump. And then the very next tournament, like we were not killing it on that rough bump. And towards the end of the round, like at the beginning of the week, we were killing it on it. And then all of a sudden something changed. Like there was some dynamic that changed in the game. And the rough bump was off big time. I'm going to hedge my bets and do a 10% wind adjustment. The fact that we're getting headwind here, and this is one of those par 3s that it's not uncommon for us to get headwind on a par 3 like this. Hit it great to the left. Those are difficult putts from down there. I know that looks like, it's no big deal. That might not be from that spot, but there's some tough putts from down there where it's going along that ridge. Where am I on my club? I'm mid. .5. It's 3.85 rings. There's 1, 2, 3, 8, 5. Hitting it perfect. Let's see if I can clip that rough. All right, so number 1. Let's see if it actually had the... It looked like it was going to die off, and now it'll roll right down there where my opponent's at. And I'll tell you that there can be some tough putts down here. I've actually missed one of these putts in a tournament. I was shooting a video the other day, and I was commenting on the fact that there was a tournament. I missed 2 putts during a tournament and came back and won. I shot a 30. I shot a 31, I think, maybe a 30. After missing 2 putts, but this was one of the holes, and this was the area that I was in. I don't like these putts from down here. They're not my favorites. What happened, I was doing that, and at the last second, I don't know, it jogged off, and it ended up coming in short. It was brutal. It was a brutal beatdown. All right, that was hole number 5. Hole number 6. Let's see what hole number 6 is. Hole number 6. And hole number 6 is going to be hole number 6. All right, this hole right here we need. I think I need bag number 1, but I've got the wrong wood in it. Switch this to a sniper. I'm going to switch this bag right here to an extra mile. Big dog. So I have that bag. Stick with my number 1. Yeah, let's get a Titan. Save ourselves a second out there on the course. Unless, of course, we're on some number divisible by 9. Playdemic cracks me up with that stuff. We used to have packs. Most people remember we used to have packs of 9. You buy 9 balls, right? You get a pack of 9. So every 9th ball you had to open up a new pack. And it makes you do that. We don't have packs anymore, so now we have some imaginary number 9, which has no bearing anymore in the game, but that yet they still do it. And like they're like adamant about it. They know that there's been like in the community, you would think as a ball manufacturer they would dig it. Like one of their accountants is going, dudes, the people will burn more balls if you don't make them pick because they'll forget they have them on. And they'll go through 26 of them instead of 9. Damn ball manufacturers. Okay, and I'm going to pull back in the shot a little. And then I'm going to do a 20% wind adjustment, so that's going to be 4 miles per hour. I'm just going to do a 2-ring pull, that's 4-2. Try and hit it perfect. Hitting it perfect. I found that if I take a little bit of topspin off, it's not nearly as effective as if I just put the topspin on max and then move it back in the shot so that it puts the shot where it's supposed to be. But that 20% wind adjustment on this drive is like a lot of drives. You know, the wind, you know, in an elevation adjustment like that may or may not be important, but this is one of those holes that it really is important. I'd say about 50% of the time it's important that you do wind adjustments on your drive. And the other 50% of the time it really doesn't matter. Unless you're going against a 15 or a 20 mile an hour wind, then it's probably important. Just saying. Then it's probably 100% of the time. Come on, get to the fairway. That dog will hunt. And I was doing this shot just straight up, right up to the cup. Okay, there's max. There's min, so I'm about mid-club. I'm going to do a max adjustment, even though it's at mid-club. Hitting it perfect. And we'll see if I should be doing a mid-club, which would have been less of a pull, or if I over-pulled it and I under-pulled it. So I should have did a little bit on it on top of max club. Maybe like a 10% with the way the wind was blowing right there. But if we're getting a tailwind, I may not have to put on make a note here. Headwind. See if my opponent can get in with a hammerhead. Hammerhead 7. Let's check my opponent out. 9,937 games. 3,310 trophies. See if they can get it in the cup. What is the black stuff right there around the cup? It's like they forgot to roll out a section. There was a fire. Somebody got an Albie and it caught the hole on fire. It's footprints. The caddy's standing there manning the flagpole, and those are his footprints. Or her footprints. Home run. It's a draw. All right. Hole number 7. Let's go check out hole number 7. Hole number 7 is hole number 8 of City Park. It is a par 3. I haven't decided how I'm going to play this hole yet. I really, really like the spot at the top of the hill. If I can get my freaking pen to work. There is a spot right up here, and you can kind of center it up so that you're like, you don't have to, if you're using a grizzly, you can be like 3 rings, like just like center it up right there, so that you're always in the same spot to start off with, and then you can do your dialing to try and get to the cup. When you're coming down here to the bottom, your first bounce is right here on the fringe, so that you're trying to involve less of the hill or none of the hill. If you start getting up here on the green, but it's tight down in this area. So if the wind's blowing in a there's some directions that if the wind's blowing in it, if it's blowing like this, it really kills the shot, and you'll end up way in the hell back. It's tricky when you're coming around to try and get to this spot down here because you're so damn close to that rough. I do not like this spot over here trying to come up and use that hill at all. There's several ways that you can come at it from here. You can try and stay low, or you can bring it up and then try and drop it straight down. And that's the shot that I'm going to do. And I'm going to do... I need to go back and watch the video. I did a video on this hole with this shot, and it's like a 50% wind adjustment. Let's try it with a grizzly. I'm not sure what ball I have to bring, so I'm going to bring a katana. And a grizzly. Let's make sure, just in case the grizzly doesn't work, let's make sure in one of these bags that I have a Saturn. We'll bring the grizz. And let's do practice instead of in the tournament, so I can at least get 1 round on them, just so I can look at them. I can go back and watch the video and see what happened on the holes and see if that was the right ball. And this is why it's so important to record your own gameplay, so you can go back on a hole and you can play off your notes, go back, watch the hole, see what you did right or wrong. You can really go back and watch where your bounces go. So like you're looking at the end result, but sometimes you go back and you look in there and where the second bounce was, you were like a millimeter away from being in some serious trouble. And you could have set the shot up so you ended up with the same effect, but you could have made that second bounce 5 yards in the clear. It's really important to record your own gameplay. I mean, it's no different than any other sport. So if you're playing in a sport like that, they're going to record your football or whatever. They're going to record your gameplay so that they can go back and you can analyze what you're doing. And you can see how my opponent's putting the left-hand side spin on there. So when the ball first hits the ground, watch its first reaction when it hits the ground on that second bounce, as far as like it going to the left. It like sprints forward. Let's see if we get the effect so that you can visualize it. Like, yeah, I mean, it's just everything's pulling it to the left, and it's just going further down the hill. I mean, everything's already fallen to the left. So if something's trying to make it go to the left, it's going to go even faster to the left. Okay, so it's 2.6. It's 1.5 times 2.6. It's 3.9 rings. It's 4 rings. Hitting it perfect. We'll see how close I am. That was a 50% wind adjustment. Pretty close. Pretty close. You can get pretty close with that shot. Don't ask questions on that wind adjustment, though. I've done that wind adjustment from several different angles of headwind. Now, I'm not sure what kind of response we'll get with tailwind, but I've done it with headwind that's coming from the right to the left, and that particular headwind right there. And so not bad. It'll get you close. At least you can walk the tail. So at least you have some prayer, but you can see how my ball responded by putting on the right-hand side spin instead of the left-hand side spin. The left-hand side spin, everything's rolling left, so the ball's just going to go left, and it's going to go fast left. It's going to be hard to control it. You're going to have to hit way back of the shot, and then the shot's going to like leap into the spot that you want. Whereas if you put the right-hand side spin on it like that, you can stop it dead on that hill, and if you've got the right trajectory going down the hill, it'll flow right to the cup. There's another hole, one of the other par 3s here. You can do the same exact thing. And that's the shot that I normally take on that hole. But I've switched it up this week. What are we on? What are we on? What hole are we on? We're on hole number 8. And hole number 8 is hole number 7. Let's check out hole number 7. What? Yep. It's the actual hole number 7. I'm going to go for... Now, I will tell you that normally... I come here with a QB, and I've had a lot of success on this hole. And I've played this hole a lot. But you can come here with a QB, and it doesn't take a big ball. You can bring a katana. It's better if you bring a ball that's got side spin. So a katana, a kingmaker, and you're coming, and it takes very little topspin, and you'll end up bleeding off to right there. You can come at the green in multiple different ways if you're out in that area with a 2 and 3 power ball. Hold on. Hey, come on. You can come at it from in front. You can come at it from the side. And depending on how deep you get in the hole and whether or not you bring a 3 power ball, you could get to this side. A lot of people were having success right here last tournament, hitting from this area right here, and there's a ridge. And so everything's falling down on this side. And there is a little bit of a backboard that'll bring you back around, but it's not going to bring you back around so that you can use it and get back into the cup. If you've got enough speed that you could actually get back to the cup, you'll fall off the other side. But there is a little bit of a flat area here, and people were coming straight at it, doing the bounce over. I like this spot right out here. In the past, I've loved this spot because this is one of those things where if you're coming at it, you don't have to put any curl on it. Because of where it's hitting on here, it's pushing the ball in this direction. And you're going, so here's the flagpole, and you've got the pin, and here's where the ridge is at, and everything's falling off. Most people are trying to get at it like this and trying to ride that, and it's easy to catch the other side and fall off the cup. If you're coming at it from this direction, you're just going straight to the cup. I'm not involving any of the hill. I don't want gravity to get me into the cup. I'm trying to just run the ball up there. The deal is you need to be right on trajectory because usually you'll have so much speed when you get to this point. You really need to hit the flagpole. I mean, it'll stop right past it and a roll back towards it, but you could go at it a bunch of different ways, I guess is what I'm saying. You can also try and pound the ball to get it out into here. So I don't normally do that, but what the hell? We're practicing. I know how to do the layup shot, so I'm going to demo the, let's blast it out. Let's see what we can get done. Let's see what we can get done with a power 3 ball. And I definitely want to take a sniper in every bag. I could use, I may have a better shot with an APOC, but I think where I'm at right now, that extra mouse still got more top spin. Hole number 8. I like holes like this where there's lots of different ways to go in at it. And the deal is that as a player, it's important to know like all the different ways that you can come in at it. Or even on some drives, like, you know, there's multiple different ways to go at the hole. And like, hey, if I go at the hole like this, you know, then I know that I'm going to need this as my secondary club. If you don't have that in the bag, don't go that way. Or if you're going that way, the second shot's where you're really going to need a bigger ball. It's important to know how to play these holes in multiple ways, especially with the varying wind that we have right now, because you could get caught out there. It's like the shot that you've been trying all week or that you've been doing all week that's been successful is not going to work anymore because of the way that the wind's blowing. Let's see if I can get this ball over there. Damn, I could actually overshoot that. It might actually be better if I did overshoot it. Because that way I'll bleed out there in the front and be in a good long iron range. See if we can get it to us. That second bounce should hit about halfway through that rough. Ooh, I got a bounce over. Look at that. I think if it had hit halfway through it, it would have easily bled out. And that'd be from this area right here, which is where I normally hit, you're in wood. So you got to be in long iron range there. I suppose if you get up there close enough, we'll have to see how close I am to short iron. I don't normally try and go that way because I think you have a really good shot. But maybe, just maybe it's worth. I'm going for all these holes in the tournament. Like if there's a way to go for it, and I'm going for it. I'm going for every hole, every shot. I am in my Hornet. Now, there's man. There's max. There's mid. So I'm eking towards max. It's one. That was a straight up plus 0.1. And I hit a one ring great to the left, and I almost feel good about that. I almost feel like if I was going to make it, it'd have to be to the left. Because that's the way the wind was blowing to the right, and it didn't feel like I moved it enough. Close. Yeah, if you're coming at it from shorter distance, going straight at it like that is definitely the way to go. And I like being able, I personally would rather start off on the green and try and get it to run up to the cup as opposed to trying to bounce it over from the sand and roll it over there. Although I think if you hit from the other side of the sand, like where my opponent's at, you're probably in mid club. El Perfecto. can see the kind of flat that there's nothing flat on any of these greens, and there used to be. And there's still a couple courses that we don't play those courses very often anymore, but there's still a couple courses where the greens are the old style greens. And there's some big greens in Golf Clash. You don't see it on any of the newer courses, but in some of the older courses, there's greens you can't make a putt. I mean, overpowered, not overpowered, you can't make a putt. It's a draw. All right, what hole are we on? Hole number 9, and hole number 9 is hole number 9 of City Park. Here we roll. Come on, what is hole number 9? Come on, throw it at us. Seemed like there was one more really tough hole. Are we not getting any satisfaction here? Hold on. All right. So, trying to think here. I'm coming out into an area, and here's the thing. If I went back and I went and found one of the videos that I have in stock on this, I could tell you exactly what it is. I'm going to be 3 rings off of this transitional surface with a QB, 3 topspin, and we're going to start there. So, if you've never started this process before, this is the deal. I want to make this a standard shot. Most people come to this hole and they go, oh shit. And they're thinking to themselves, okay, if I hit up into here, or if they don't know, or they haven't really been here, they hit up into here, it takes a monster ball to try and hit. I've seen one person hit from here and actually make it all the way over. I mean, really, this is our launching pad. And to get from out here to that launching pad, you're going to have to bring some stuff. You got to bring in the right spot. And there's no going around. I mean, you could lay it up out here and then chip it up, but there's no going around. So you need to be somewhere probably like in this area. You don't have to be down to the tip. Just somewhere in X marks the spot with a 2 to 3 power ball and a sniper, and you can reach this island and bounce over. Great albie shot. The trick is getting into this zone. X marks the spot, and you want to do it every single time you come to this hole. So every single time we play this hole, it takes me 1 or 2 times. Sometimes I catch it on the first time, and sometimes I don't, and it's on how many rings to be off. So I'm going to bring a 3 power ball, QB, and this works better with a Kingmaker. And because you're cutting the wind down. 3 rings of separation off of this transitional surface. 3 rings of 3 topspin, max curl, or excuse me, max curl, max side spin, and try and just bleed it up. If you can get down into this tip, now you only really need to get into this area, but if you can get down into this area, you can actually get your second shot where you can get over and you can do a rough bump and come up. And so my goal is to find out what it takes to get me far enough forward consistently, time after time, so that I can do that rough bump to go to the cup. That's the goal. So we're going to play this hole however many times it takes for me to figure that out. So far, the round's just been a pretty clean round. So just working out, dialing up the numbers to the cup. But this hole right here, let's play it as many times as it takes. And I want to bring the QB. I think more of you will have a QB. I know. So what is it, 86 curl? Kingmaker, I'm ready to roll. Now what I really should do is set this shot up so that I'm giving myself a couple miles per hour of wind. So instead of pulling it all the way forward, pull it back so that I give myself, so when I'm setting the shot up, I give myself some breathing room if I end up here with headwind. So I don't have to do overpower. We want this shot to be consistently like just in the same spot, in the same spot, in the same spot, in the same spot, in the same spot. I know that sounds like a broken record, and that's what we want it to sound like. We want people to just get sick of us. It's like every damn time that guy comes to that hole, it's in the same spot. That's right. Gooner goes first. $1,622 games. Got some sporting some jewelry, some bling, some color. Now that is another way to go with this. They had to bring out a Power 5 to do it. I think the 3 topspin might be too much. But that 3 topspin, I usually take this with, I've been taking this with a rock. But a QB works, I think, probably even better. I want to bring that ball. So there's plus 15. I'm going to pull back to plus 10. That's 3.5 rings off at plus 10. Two 7. There's 2 5 6 7. Max curl. And I hit it 1 ring grade on the inside. And it'll clip right there and get caught up. And that was way too far on a, well, and that could have been a 2 ring. It was pretty damn close. It was way off. I'm never concerned when I'm practicing doing shots. I know it seems like back in the day, here just a couple months ago, before we had the practice stuff, which I like, there's parts of it that I like and there's parts that I don't like. I don't like the fact that we have to have tokens. And I don't like the fact that we can't buy the tokens. We have to purchase something that gives us some ability to get those tokens. But on the other hand, I do like the fact that we can go practice the same hole over and over and over and over again if we want. And I'm going to go right here. Because I'm trying to get to is right there. That's the spot. You can see how it goes uphill right at the very end. So if you can get to that spot right there where you're right at the bottom of that hill, typically, by the time you get there, you may roll up that hill a little bit and it'll just rest coming back. I'm going to move that out. I'm going to move that out about 4.5 rings. Eagle. Let's see if we can get the eagle from here. Let's see if we got the right distance. Barely. And only if we're getting that kind of wind. .1. Let's just hit this perfect and break their heart. Arrgh! Not on a grate to the right. And I did about 10% right there, and I probably looked like it was off. I want to take that a shot a few times, so let's go back and take that drive shot again, because I definitely want to practice that drive shot so we can get that down. Let's practice one more time. Hole number 9. Let's play it again. Come on. Let's blow a few kingmakers here. There's no way to get far enough down in that hole with a katana that you'd be able to pick up that rough bump on the other side. And it looks like if we have any kind of headwind here that it won't matter. You won't be able to pick up that rough bump. You'll have to do the bounce over. Little Yorkie. I used to have a Yorkie that looked just like that, named Daisy. Daisy Lou Who. See if my opponent's trying to make it all the way over. Now, with an APOC 7, they might be able to. Let's see if they can get over there with a snow globe. I'm curious to know. Curious minds want to know. They might still land out there. If they can catch it right here and get a landing, we're going to get a good view. Ooh, close. Close. Nice shot. Nice shot, man. 3 top spin. And we're going to go to the plus 10. I'm going to go out 5 rings. A plus 10. Let's see if that works. 3, 5. We want to see where that second bounce is landing. Hitting it perfect. Okay, we got plenty of room. No, we have no room on the inside. So we actually need to take that shot out 6 rings. I'll have to find a spot out there where the ball guide's coming in. Have to find a different spot. So 6 rings off. We'll try it one more time. We'll go back and try this one more time. There's a spot out there that you can get with your club where you can hit a great to the left or the right and a perfect, and it'll go right down the middle of that chute. Now the greats to the left or the right, you run out of fairway faster because it cones up as it's going towards the end, and so you may have to adjust your topspin and only put on 2 or 2.5. They're doing the rough bump as well. All right, let's see if we can get this in the hole, in the right spot. Let's see if I can get. Let's see if I have enough. The wind's blowing the right direction. Let's see if we can get a rough bump going. If they can reconnect me, which I have no idea why they can't connect me. I got just enough room. Just enough. Okay, it's 3.1. It's 3.56 rings. There's 3, 5, 6. Hitting it perfect. And that was with a 15% wind adjustment. And just a little short and still. And that was a little overpull right there. I did a 10% on the last one and it seemed like it was off. We'll switch that to a 10. We'll try this one more time. In the hole, eagle. It's a draw. All right, let's try that one more time. One more time. Let's see if we can replicate that shot. But I'm going to move it out 6 rings so that I can put the perfect in the middle and try and leave myself enough room on the inside, on the right-hand side, for a great to the right. Where you get in trouble on that hole right there is when you're putting the curl in there, especially if you're using max curl, that second bounce is where your curl really gets represented. And you'll clip that rough, or you can catch that sand trap that's on the right-hand side. All right. Do 3 and max. 3 and 3. Okay, I'm doing plus 10. I'm going to go about a ring off. So that's 4 miles per hour, 1 per ring. Hit it perfect. Let's see if that goes down the middle and I have room on the right-hand side. Nope. I'm still cutting that corner right there. I need to go. What the deal is that it doesn't matter how far out I go. I'm going to stay on that same inside line trajectory. I need to go forward in order to push the shot forward into that. So I could go forward like +1 or +2. That'd still leave me just a little bit of room to work out some wind. If I had a side headwind, I'd probably be all right at the +12. But if I had a due headwind, I'd probably have to fight against it just a little. So go back and do this hole one more time at +12. We'll move the shot forward a little. And we'll go back to the 5 rings off. All right, I'm doing 10% this time, 2.7. I don't think I have enough distance this time to get there. Whew, I do, barely. Barely. Okay, it's 2.7, it's 2.97 rings. .97. Hitting it perfect. Getting a hole. That was with a 10% adjustment. And see, right there, it looks like I over pulled it again. And the other time it was at 15. It was right there too. Arrgh. It's like I don't need to do any adjustment. We're going to try that hole one more time anyways, because we want to push that shot forward to 12. +12. I'll draw that out so hopefully that makes sense. Why it keeps coming in exactly where it is, even though I've moved out. See if my opponent can get in from here. We want this hole to be such a standard eagle that like every time we come here, we're really going for the Albie. We came to this hole and the course marshal just said, no, you go ahead and go up there to that spot. We know that you have that shot in the bag, so we just gave it to you. They don't do that in golf, but we want it to be like that. One more time. One more time. One more. There are going to be a handful of people who this hole right here is going to wreck their world. They're going to be doing good until they get to the 18th hole, and this is a hole that can eat your lunch. Okay, we're going to play one more time. One more time, I'm going to go to plus 12. 5 rings off. I'm going to put it back at 5 rings because that's a measurable distance off. That's something we can go back to. We're not eyeballing it. First, let's see how much plus 3 gives us. I mean, I don't think that gives us, like, that might give us a ring. It should theoretically give us 3 rings, but I don't think it does. Maybe it does. My opponent goes first. They are using a power 3 side span, 3 wind, Kingmaker lookalike. That's from the that's the one from this year, I think. Very nice. Very nice. Okay, so there's plus 12. 5 rings off. 3, 3. mph wind. Max curl. Hitting it perfect. Now this shot, I should have room on the right-hand side. Nope. Still right down the middle. Or right down that edge. I'd have to push it all the way forward to the plus 15 mark. Or I'd have to take some curl off of it. Not a lot, but a little. I think that's the way I'm going to do it. I'm going to be 5 rings off. And on my grid down there, the last tick mark on my grid is on the inside of the ball if you've got it maxed curl. And I think I'm going to bring the ball over to the tick mark before that, or cut that in half. I can't do the rough bump from here. So if we can't do the rough bump, this is our shot. And I usually like to be a couple rings off. It's 3.6. I'm not going to do any wind adjustment whatsoever, other than just a straight up wind adjustment. There's 3, 5, 3, 6. Ah, should have let it go by one more time. I feel pretty comfortable with that shot, though. I think if I moved it all the way forward, I would have a problem with wind. If I had headwind, we would have a problem. We'd have to use some overpower on it. I was just letting go and it did the thing. And sometimes if you let go of your spot, when it comes back on, then it responds. That scared me. All right, so there is a practice round. So let's look at the scorecard here. Just a pretty straight up scorecard. Didn't pick up anything. Just a pretty easy walkthrough. Got a couple looks at hole number 9. If you haven't been playing for a long time, if you've got lower developed clubs, you can go out there with your QB and you can find a spot where you can put that topspin on there and you can find that spot in the club. Where we will run into a problem on that hole is when we get wind. That's when we get any kind of headwind where we have to, if we're already at the max red line. So if we can pull back a little bit of that in our shot, it would work out really, really good. I suppose the other way you could do it is you could bring out a power 4 ball so you could push that red line forward. You know a spot and go find that spot, set it up, take out the wind. All right, that was the Christmas Park Tournament practice. It is Monday. We can't qualify today. I'm going to go try and run a qualifying round right now and see how it goes. Thanks for watching.